Good morning, boys and girls. Hi. I told you that we are going to learn about ocean this week and about some of the animals that live there. And first of all, we're going to talk a little bit about where we live, which is here in Grove, Oklahoma. And we're very fortunate to live in a place that has a huge lake. And I know that some of us think that our lake is very much like the ocean. However, it is a little different in that it's not as big as an ocean. I know that seems very strange because our lake is a very big lake here in Oklahoma, but the ocean is so large that you cannot even see across it. Also, in the ocean, the water is made of salt water. So if you get the water in your mouth, it tastes a little yucky, or I think it tastes a little yucky because it's salt water. And here in Oklahoma, our lake and Grove is not made of salt water, it is fresh water. And so if it splashes up into your mouth, it's not going to taste quite the same. Of course, we don't want the lake water in our mouth at all, though, do we, boys and girls? So there are two different kinds of water. So our lake is fresh water, and the oceans around our world are salt water. And so the animals that live there are also a little different. Some of them are able to live in salt water, and a few of them can live in fresh water. But for the most part, those animals that live in salt water, they can't live in fresh water, so they can't even live in our lake. So one of those animals is a shark. The shark loves the salt water. It lives in oceans all around the world. And we're going to read a little bit about sharks because I know, boys and girls, that you are very excited about sharks because we've heard all kinds of things about them. So this story is about sharks, and I apologize. I know the words are backward, but we're going to try to figure that out as we go through our distance learning. So this is an actual non-fiction book. So it's going to have actual pictures of sharks, and it's going to have actual facts about the sharks. So this is by Melvin and Gilda Berger, and it is titled Sharks. So first of all, here's our title page. You can see the shark. Let me zoom it up here a little closer. So you can see the shark. This shark looks a little different, doesn't it? It's got some white tips on it. You can see its fins. It's got this tall dorsal fin on the back that we usually see, we associate with our sharks because it sticks up out of the water. And we'll start with our first book. Look at this big shark. It says, "Here comes a shark." Now this shark happens to be a great white shark. It's the one that we see all of the movies about. Look at how large he is. Look at all of his teeth. Wow. Some sharks swim near the top of the ocean. If sharks stop swimming, they sink. So they swim all the time. They swim if they're awake. They swim while they're sleeping. They have to constantly swim all the time to keep the water passing over their gill slits so that they can breathe in the water. Some sharks swim near the bottom of the ocean. Look at that. That doesn't even look like a shark, does it? Looks like some kind of little moppy thing hanging out on the ocean floor. Very interesting. Some sharks are flat. Look at this shark. Sharks that live on the ocean bottom usually have flat bodies. And boys and girls, this is because the water in the ocean is so heavy, it actually presses on their bodies. Now, they're made to live there, so it's not hard for them to breathe or anything, but they're kind of a different shape than those sharks we see swimming on the top. Some sharks are round, so this shark is going to be one of those sharks that swims up closer to the top. It's not going to be one that swims at the bottom. See how round his body is, or hers. Some sharks have big teeth. Look at those big teeth. Wow. And some sharks have small teeth. So let's look at this shark. Look at how tiny. Look at how many teeth. When a shark bites, some of its teeth may fall out, and then it has new teeth that move from the back, and they move up to the front to take their place. Look at that. Look at all those rows of teeth. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe 5 right there. Look at all those tiny teeth. Wow. You know, sharks are fortunate because when they lose a tooth, a new tooth grows in its place. And boys and girls, when we lose a tooth, we only have one tooth that comes, right? But these sharks have teeth that continue to grow and move forward in their mouth forever, as long as the shark is alive. Some sharks are born alive, you know, like puppy dogs and kitty cats, and we talked about horses and cows, right? They're born alive. So sharks' bodies, sharks' babies are called pups. Isn't that interesting? They definitely don't look like a puppy, do they? But they are called pups. Some sharks give birth to as many as 60 pups at a time. Oh my goodness. When I think about that, I think about my puppy dog. He had 11 brothers and sisters. 11. But this pup could have up to 59 brothers and sisters. That is a whole lot of pups in one group, isn't it? Some sharks hatch from an egg. Look at the egg that this shark hatched from. Isn't that interesting? It looks like a leaf, kind of, doesn't it? Okay, so we have animals that we know of that hatch from eggs, like robins. The robins are putting eggs in their nest right now. Babies are hatching. So that's a bird. Also, what about chickens? Do chickens come from eggs? So, but their eggs look very different than this egg, don't they? What an interesting egg. Oh, some sharks have heads like hammers. Look at that. Hammerhead shark. Do you see his hammerhead right here? And his eye on each end. This helps him be able to see better. How interesting. Some sharks have spots like leopards. There are about 370 different kinds of sharks in the world. Isn't that interesting? I love the pattern of this shark. While we're talking about the pattern, if sharks are a little bit like kitty cat tongues. So if you pet the shark this way, it's going to be smooth. But if you pet the shark back this way, it's going to feel rough, kind of like sandpaper. Because of the way that their scales are, then you brush them one way and they're soft, or they feel kind of slick. But if you brush them the other way, they feel rough. Let's go ahead and turn the page. Some sharks are big. Look, can you see this person right here? This is a whale shark. This whale shark happens to eat lots of food. However, the whale shark eats little super tiny things that you would see with a microscope that float around out there in the ocean. Aren't they beautiful? Whale sharks, and they are about the size of a whale. Some sharks are small. Whale sharks are the size of a tractor trailer truck or a bus. This is a dwarf shark, and it is about 6 inches long. So it's going to be about as big as Miss Holly's hand. Just about that big. It's a pretty small shark. There goes the shark. You can see its fin on top of the water. That's how we know. All right. I hope you enjoyed the video and the story about sharks. I'm also going to put a video up so that your parents can watch one about sharks. And she's going to tell you some more things about sharks and about sharks, what they're made of, as far as bones or cartilage and things like that. So, I'll talk to you boys and girls later. And Miss Hayward's going to do a video on our shark puppet here in a little while. Bye.